at O'Keefe in Rhode Island, where GOP control of the Senate isn't on the mind of Alan Fung. He's running to help Republicans retake the House.
Have a great day now. Thank you.
He's the former mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island, and the son of Chinese immigrants who grew up in his family's restaurant. Now he's campaigning on economic issues.
It's a cost of living crisis that's hitting every single individual in Rhode Island, every single business owner in Rhode Island.
Fung is running for an open House seat against Democrat Seth Magaziner. Republicans are focused on picking up this seat and several others, and they're trying to do it with the most diverse class ever of House Republican candidates. 89 Black, Latino, Native American, and Asian contenders across the country.
Mi nombre es Yesli Vega y yo apruebo este mensaje.
Me too.
The GOP is also competing hard for seats across New England. Rhode Island, for example, hasn't elected a Republican to Congress in more than 20 years. Fung knows that's because the GOP brand is unpopular here and isn't helped by former President Donald Trump. So he's trying to keep his distance. He hasn't endorsed you, right?
No, he hasn't.
Would you like his endorsement? Would it help?
The endorsement that's important for me are the people in this second district, the people of Rhode Island.
In 2020, who won the presidential election?
Hey, look, I recognize Joe Biden as our legitimate president.
2.5 hours away in the suburbs of New York City, Democratic Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney is also running in a tougher than anticipated race.
I understand how to beat Republicans in a tough seat.
He's facing Republican Mike Lawler and millions of dollars in GOP attack ads.
His lies are costing you.
If they're going to blow $9 million trying to beat me, that's $9 million they could have spent winning some races somewhere else.
Part of the reason Maloney's a favorite Republican target is because he's also in charge of getting other Democrats elected to the House. And he says his party needs to find a way to talk about the economy and issues important to Democratic voters, like the future of abortion rights.
Family budget's always on the ballot. But you know what? You can't take away 50 years of reproductive freedom and not talk about it. My God, what would we be doing if we weren't pushing back against that?
And Bob and Ed join us now at the table, in from the road, in from the cold, for some insights into what you've been learning. Let's start with you, Bob. There are some big names out on the campaign trail. Some people call them surrogates. Some people call them political wingmen. I think that's Ed's terms. What should we look for this weekend as people make these big speeches?
There are some surprises in the works in the final days. In fact, late last night, just after I got off a bus from northeastern Pennsylvania to New York City to be here this morning, Oprah Winfrey threw her support behind John Fetterman and Pennsylvania's toss-up of a Senate race. Big news.
Yeah, it really is.
Dr. Oz, obviously somebody she had supported in his TV career there. Ed, we saw former President Trump was in Iowa last night. Not a huge surprise, giving another signal to Americans that he may be running again. Let's take a look and a listen.
Yep.
Now, in order to make our country successful and safe and glorious, I will very, very, very probably do it again, okay? Very, very, very probably. Get ready. That's all I'm telling you very soon. Get ready. Get ready.
That is someone who has talked to the campaign lawyers who have said, don't you dare say it before Election Day because it triggers some things.
But what does it trigger when you look at some of the battleground states? We're just days away from
Well, Democrats would love nothing more for him to do it already. And they certainly know that it helps them, especially in these toss-up races in the Senate and the House. But here's the thing. Guys like Alan Fung, who you just met in that piece, would probably, if they win this year, would probably be in far more precarious situations 2 years from now, because a lot of the places where Republicans are poised to win, both in Senate races, governor's races, House races, are the kind of places where the GOP wasn't doing well when Donald Trump was president.
Right.
So that is the ongoing yin and yang of the Republican Party. Do we want control? Yes, but it requires electing Republicans who are not at all like Donald Trump, who embrace reality, who are, have different opinions on immigration rights, on other issues of concern.
Yeah.
And it's part of why you may see, despite the fact he may run, a big competition among Republicans to see who should really be their nominee.
Welcome back from the road. And you'll be here Tuesday for our election night coverage. Ed, Bob, thank you very much. And speaking of election night coverage, we're going to have full election coverage here on CBS starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. That's November 8th. Don't forget to vote.